So today I wanted to check out Linux Mint 21. What's up guys, it's Josh back with another video, and today I want to do another distribution review, and the distro that's up on the chopping block is Linux Mint 21. And this was actually released I think earlier this month. This is the latest version of Linux Mint, and it comes with a couple upgrades, you know what I'm saying, like desktop environment upgrades, wallpapers, new wallpapers, as well as it's based on Ubuntu 22.04, which is the latest version of Ubuntu. And if you guys didn't know, Linux Mint is based on the Ubuntu distribution, so it kind of follows that release schedule a little while after the latest LTS. Then it'll come out with a new version of Linux Mint. But I've always stressed to everyone that I talk to that Linux Mint is a great distribution for people that are just getting into the Linux operating system or understand not the operating system, because it's one of the closest distributions to Windows 11 or coming over from a Windows environment. And what I'm talking about is based on the design of the actual desktop environment. The Cinnamon desktop environment is awesome. It's an awesome desktop environment and very simple to use for new users. So let's hop over to the website right fast so I can show you guys how to download it, and then we'll get to the install. Before we move forward, I wanted to give a quick shout out to CIQ, the official partner of Rocky Linux. Rocky Linux is a Linux distribution that is intended to be a downstream complete binary compatible release using the Red Hat Enterprise Linux operating system source code. The project is led by Gregory Kurtzer, who was the founder of the CentOS project. So check out Rocky Linux at ciq.co. So we are at linuxmint.com, and as always, I have the link down in the description of the video. But as you can see, latest version Linux Mint 21, and it's dubbed, or the name is Vanessa. The code name is Vanessa. So that's super cool. But it says the latest version of our friendly operating system is here. Install it on your computer today. And then they have installation instructions as well as how to download it. So let's go straight to download so I can show you guys how to download it. I already have it downloaded, but I wanted to show you guys the different versions. They have like different flavors of Linux Mint. So they have the Cinnamon edition, which is the one we're going to install, and the Mate edition, which is super cool too. I like Mate as well. It's an awesome, desktop environment. And of course, my personal favorite, XFCE. So the XFCE edition is super cool. It's a lightweight desktop environment. I like it, starting off on whatever system I'm using, and then I make all my changes to the actual desktop environment from there. Of course, the XFCE way, so to speak. But I already have it downloaded, so let's go down and hop over to my virtual machine so we can get this thing installed. I'll show you guys how to install it, walk you guys through it, and then we can check out some of the changes that were made to the distribution. Alright, so we booted into Grub. This is the first thing that'll pop up when you stick your ISO in your computer, whether it's the physical or in a virtual machine. It'll pop right into Grub, and so what you want to do, I just wanted to show you guys these selections, and that's why it's kind of small or whatever. But start Linux Mint 21 Cinnamon 64-bit, and that's based on whatever ISO you downloaded. So if you downloaded the Mate one, it'll show Mate. If you downloaded the XFCE one, it'll have XFCE there. So as you can see, we have Cinnamon. They do have two options. So they have a compatibility mode, and you might want to try that. If that doesn't work, it may be for older systems, and then OEM install for manufacturers, and then test memory. So let's just go to the Start Linux, and the OEM install is super cool to do for, let's say, a computer you're giving to someone. Let's say you have a system that's old, and you want to give it to your child or whatever, and you want to put Linux on it or something. You could do the OEM install, and that'll wipe the system or install the operating system as normal, but it won't create any accounts, and it'll pop up like let's say you buy a computer from a company. The first thing it'll pop up is setting up the operating system for the user, that actually purchased the product. So let's go into Store Linux Mints, and let's wait for this thing to come up, and I'll make some adjustments to the display so it'll look right on the screen so you guys can see everything while we're going through the install. Okay, well, we logged into the Linux Mint desktop environment, Cinnamon desktop, and I just want to show you guys what to do to get this thing installed. So it'll pop up with a link right here on the desktop. It says install Linux Mint, and that will open up the installer. It shouldn't take too long to open up. And the first thing you need to do is select your language. So let's go down and hit continue there, and then select your keyboard layout. And it's pretty much the same as most Linux installers. You know what I'm saying? You just basically go through the steps and it'll go through and install on your system. But multimedia codecs, you can install those as well for like video formats, rendering and all that good stuff. And we can install it. That's fine. And then hit continue. And then next thing is setting up our hard drives. So as you can see, first one, it pre-selects erase disk and install Linux Mint, which is what you want to do. They do have some advanced features here. If you want to check them out, you can do the LVM, or you can erase the disk and use ZFS. Now that may be something you want to do using that different file system, as well as encrypting the new Linux Mint installation. So you can do that as well, but we're going to do none of the advanced features and just hit install now. But you can also partition the hard drive yourself under here. So let's hit install now, and then it should ask us to set up our accounts at this point. And then we can go through that, or our location first. So I'm on the West Coast, so Los Angeles works. And then set up our account. So all we have to do is type in our name, whatever we want to name it. I'm gonna just name it Mints 21, and then our username is right, what we want. Now let's put in a password, super strong password like people say, and then require my password on login. That's pre-selected, and I'm glad that it's pre-selected. And then you can also encrypt your home directory if you want to, or log in automatically, which I don't recommend. So let's hit continue and wait for the install to complete, because we are done with setting up the install. So I'll be back when I reboot the system and we have it up and running. Alright, cool. So the installation is complete. As you can see, this is the pop-up that'll happen as soon as it actually finishes. But it says installation has finished. You can continue testing Linux Mint. You can, keep the live environment open or the live ISO open, or you can restore it and log into the operating system from the hard drive. So let's go down and hit restart now. That way we can get this thing up, and I'll be back when it's done. Alright, cool. So as you can see, the installation is not hard at all, but we have Linux Mint 21, Cinnamon desktop, 64-bit, and the first thing that'll pop up is an initial setup. As you can see, it says welcome to Linux Mint, and it basically talks about the operating system. Have a great time, don't hesitate to send us feedback. Now you can go through these steps, but first steps of setting up the desktop, you can go through and make changes to it, to the design. Like for instance, it's dark. I always like dark, and then they have some highlighted colors. So for instance, like this green for the folders, it's like highlight colors. You can change it to whatever you want. You can put that like the brown or something. It'll change as you go through it, or put like blue, and I'll keep the blue. And then you have your panel layout, so you can modify that as well. You can keep the traditional, or you can go with the modern, which I believe is stuck on the it's stuck on the modern. And this is what it's talking about right here. The traditional looks like this. It's like a long icon on the bar, down below. Then you can set up your snapshots, and this is one cool thing I like about Linux Mint. And like I said, this is a great distribution for people that are just getting into the Linux operating system, because it has a lot of documentation and it breaks down everything you can do with the system, right off within the welcome menu, which a lot of them do, but this captures a lot of the most important things, like for instance snapshots. This is a great way of keeping backups of all your stuff. So you can set up your snapshots, you can do your driver management from here, and then you can go into the update manager, system settings, which we'll go through some of this stuff, the software manager, the firewall, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff is right here on the first page, you know what I'm saying, when you boot up the operating system. And then you can hit this checkbox, and it won't show the dialog on startup every single time, but we'll leave it on. Like I said, I'm probably remove this distribution, or actually I'm gonna remove this virtual machine right after installing this. But you have a link also to go into the documentation, so you can go to that. You can check out the new features, which we can open that up as well. It's going to open it up using our browser, which is fine. And then the release notes, so known bugs and all that stuff. So let's go back to it right fast. I don't want to, you know, go past that yet, but you got your help, so web forms, IRC chat link, you know, all the links to everything you need, and contribute. You can actually contribute to the project by going there. So let's go on and close it, but that dialog will pop up every single time unless you uncheck this box, and it won't pop up every single time you log into the system. Now these are the new features, so just covering, you know, a little bit of it. Actually, let's check out what browser this is first, because you guys know I like to go through the applications that are installed on the system. So let's go to, let's see, help, and then about Firefox, so we can check out the version that's installed on here. And that's super cool. It comes with 103. Now we haven't ran any updates on this system yet. Not sure if any updates came out for Firefox since then, but it at least comes with a newer version of Firefox web browser. So that's super dope. Now, from what I heard, there was some Bluetooth, some more Bluetooth support. That's one of the things that they're highlighting. Just like Blueberry Blue Man is a desktop agnostic and integrates well in all environments. So you have your Bluetooth connection, which is super cool. A lot of people, like, I need to get into that as well on my current laptop, start using Bluetooth, because I have Bluetooth headsets that I use for my phones specifically, but I need to start using them for my desktop environment. But you know, currently I'm still using the old plug-in, you know, headphones, which works, you know what I'm saying, but it'd be cool to start, you know, using modern technology by using Bluetooth, you know what I'm saying. Super dope. Now it's a couple more things like thumbnailers, you know, lack of thumbnails in certain applications, so that's been addressed with this issue. The sticky notes, they made some changes to the sticky notes to make it look a little better. And then process monitor, so you got those changes as well. That's put down in the taskbar. It should be system snapshots, the time shift. So basically this looks a little better. It's been upgraded. A little process monitor was added to Linux to detect automated updates and automatic system snapshots running in the background. So that's dope to see. XApp improvements, let's see, in rsync mode, it now calculates the required space for the next snapshot and skips it if performing the snapshot leads to less than 1 gig. So it's a little bit more improvements on applications, and then it also comes with Cinnamon 5.4, and the window manager I know is Muffin. So that's and it's based on is forked of Mutter 3.2. So if you guys didn't know that, just wanted to point that out to you guys as well. Now that's pretty much all I wanted to show you guys on here, and let's go on and get started with looking at the desktop environment, or looking at the applications that come with it. Now we already looked at the browser. Actually, let's go over here to the right, check it out. So we got our calendar, if you click on that, as well as events. So if you link, you know, like your Google account here, you know what I'm saying, you'll see your alerts and events and all that stuff. You got your volume controls, network controls, storage controls. So if you got USB storages plugged into it, or USB devices, managing that. Your printer is already, you know, there. This is your security update. So if you click right there, that'll open up our update manager. So you can run your updates from here, and then also the system reports right here as well. It says system requires some attention. So let's open that up. It says install language packs, and then set up system restore utility. So that's some of the reports that it's giving you. So that's mainly because we haven't set up our time shift. So that's good that it's actually showing you guys that. And then system information, you can go in there. That's a good way of actually looking at what you have on the system, and then as well as crash reports, so you can check that out as well. Look at them, and you can copy, you know, your reports, and let's say put them on a forum board if you're trying to get some assistance. But like I said, this is the update manager, so it's supposed to be new and improved, a little bit better. It says security updates, software updates, and system snapshots all in one. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just hit OK. That way we can get past that first dialogue. But what it's gonna do is actually to switch your local mirrors, and this is usually for faster package downloads. You could change that. I recommend you change that to whichever one it recommends. That way you have faster package downloads. So super cool. You know what I'm saying? You can go in and modify this if you want to. Let's close it though. It basically opens it up, but that's your sources list and all that stuff. So apply the updates. So there is a newer version of the update manager, so we can update it from here. Let's refresh right fast. Run a refresher, just see what happens. And it's gonna check for updates for this system. You know what I'm saying? Now why it's doing that, because it may take a little time. I'm not sure what you know, it's actually gonna do. But let's open up Muffin. So this is essentially Muffin right here, the window manager, file manager, and I'm sorry, Nemo is the kind of file browser, so to speak. So that's there. The icons are super cool. So let's go down and close that out. Not much to see there, but let's see if we have something like I'm not sure why it's okay. So we got a issue, could not download our repository indexes. That's fine. Not sure what's wrong with this thing, but that looks like a bug we could probably report. But let's see if NeoFetch is on here, so we could check out the kernel that's installed on here. And I'm sure it comes with 5.15. Yep, and that's the latest kernel, or latest long-term kernel release. So super dope. Just really wanted to check it out, as well as the theme. So it's using mint white dark aqua, the icons mint white dark aqua, and you can modify this stuff. The window manager theme, mint y, and the window manager is Muffin. So good to go. And GNOME terminal, as well as the shell. I always forget to talk about the shell, but it uses bash 5.1.16. so let's go down and close that out. And that's cool. NeoFetch is on here. So let's hit yes. Let's see what happens with this. Official repositories, we don't have any PPAs, and that should work right there. The main repository as well as the base. And then let's hit back to the default settings and see what happens, because I think that is the default, but I thought it would have changed it when we clicked that button earlier. Let's refresh again and see what happens. And then yeah, and that error went away, so that's cool. So I would probably not do that. I'll leave the defaults for right now, because when I changed it, that's when it crashed on me. So Firefox, we got that latest version of Firefox on here. Now this is basically clicking to show the desktop, so you guys already know how to do that. So like if you have something open up, you can click that and it'll minimize everything on the desktop to show you the desktop, and you can click it again, it'll bring all the applications back up. So let's go on and hit the start menu and look through some of the applications. I'm gonna go to all applications and just see what's on here. So we got an archive manager, background, so if we want to change out the background, backup tool, a calendar, calculator, celluloid, which is a video player, character map, colors, date, time, desktop, disk usage analyzer, your display settings, which I went in there earlier to modify the desktop so you guys can see it a little better while I'm recording, document scanner, typical, basically all the applications you need to run a basic Linux desktop environment. You know what I'm saying? Video, you know what I'm saying? Let's see if it has, yeah, password manager, that's the sticky notes. So pics, which is for organizing, images. So if you got a lot of images on your system, that's super dope that's there. Rhythm box, that is a music player. Screensaver, screenshot software, that's cool. That's on there. Software sources, synaptic package manager, that's cool to see right there. Let's go to system info right fast, and actually let's go back over to our applications again. And I also want to check out the system monitor, because for some reason this virtual machine is running very slow. I don't know if you guys can tell by what I'm doing. I was trying to not bring much attention to it, but it is running rather slow. And I also shut down a couple other virtual machines on my server to see if that would fix the problem. So I'm not sure what is going on with it, but I want to look at the monitor just to see what's actually going on with this system, see if we can actually see what's actually running. And it may just need some updates and reboots. I'm not 100% sure. So let's see what's killing the memory, because I gave this thing 2 gigs of memory. Let's see, cinnamon, so using 24% of the CPU. I gave this thing 2 cores as well. So I'm not sure what's going on with this system, but let's see, Linux Mint 21, so cinnamon version 5.4.8, and mainly what I wanted to show you guys was the processor, memory. I gave it 40 gigs, 35 gigs of hard drive space, and then device, graphics card. Let's see, upload system information if you need it. You can copy it to the clipboard as well. I'm gonna just close that. Actually, let's run a couple updates on it. And if you guys didn't know how to do your updates on the system, your first time opening up a Linux operating system, Ubuntu based, Debian based uses the apt package manager. So you can open up the terminal, type sudo apt updates, and then I'm gonna put them together. So sudo apt upgrade, and then let's drop a Y in there at the end. That basically answers that little question that's going to ask you, are you sure you want to install these updates? Now what just to explain this to you guys, the ampersand is essentially saying run this command first, and then once that command completes without any errors, then run this command next, which is our upgrade command. That'll actually run the updates for us. So let's press enter. Go on and type in our sudo password. This is our first time running sudo as well as updates, and wow, it's about 240 upgrades on the system. So I'm gonna let that run in the background. Probably won't take too long, and that may fix some of my sluggish issues that I'm having with this system. I mean, it's running fine. I checked my main server and it looks like it's not like affecting the server at all. This virtual machine, for some reason, is running slow though. So I'm gonna just let it run these updates in the background and just look at a little bit more of the operating system. But this is our Bluetooth manager, which they said has been improved. So click on that. This is the adapter, and right now this thing won't work because like I said, this is a virtual machine, so it doesn't have any Bluetooth connection to it or cord in it. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing you can really do with it. So that's why I can't really show you anything with it right now. But yeah, I mean, it essentially has everything you need. Like one of the things I would recommend you do as soon as you get on here is to turn on the firewall. So the firewall is right here. So firewall configuration, and essentially this is UFW, but it's like a GUI for UFW. So let's type in our pseudo password, because anytime you open up something like this, like an application that'll modify something to this effect, like the firewall, then you want to go down and it's gonna force you to use your pseudo password. So you can have a profile for home, you can set up a profile for the office or the public. You can change it up from there, allow certain traffic in, but all you have to do is hit the turn on, and it will deny all incoming and allow all outgoing. And you can check out the rules from there, but there is a get started right here. But that's the simplest way to turn on your firewall, you know what I'm saying? And it also gives you some information. All you have to do is hit on, and let's say you want to add a rule, just go into rules, press the plus arrow, and it'll allow you to make changes. And you can also filter by applications. So let's say you want to allow SSH. It should pop up, yeah, SSH. So application SSH, and then you can allow all in for that port. And then this is the simple version, and then the advanced way of actually adding firewall rules. So let's go down and close that off. But you got your reports and you got your logs, so you can check that out if you want to, just playing around with it. But our firewall is enabled, and let's go down and close that right fast, and let's check out our updates. And yeah, it's about 16% done. I'm not sure why this thing is running so slow, but whatever, you know what I'm saying? It may just have something to do with my my virtual machine, the way I have it set up. I might have did something wrong in the configuration, so don't fault me, because I don't think the system will run bad on your hardware. It's just right now it's running a little bad on my virtual machine. So but that was Linux Mint 21. An awesome distribution, like I said, for beginners. Definitely check this distribution out. It's definitely worth it, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned Linux user. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, leave comments down in the comments below. And of course, keep it techie.